Dr. Hulda Clark is a cellular biologist who states in one of her books that, quote, the sick have been held hostage for their money or intangible assets since time immemorial, end quote. She states that the treatments outlined in her book, quote, are not intended to be a replacement or substitute for other forms of conventional medical treatment. She suggests that the reader consult with their physician or other healthcare provider. Instead of drugs and surgery used by conventional medicine, she recommends herbal nutrient support, especially a black walnut wormwood combination, to eliminate parasites and bacteria from the body, along with pollutants in food and other products. That, she says, are the causes of all diseases. Alzheimer's disease.
Yes.
And the parasite, is that flukes?
Fasciolopsis flukes.
Now, Fasciolopsis buski is what kind of fluke? Is a fluke?
It's a fluke, yes, meaning a flatworm. It's a leech. It's a tiny leech.
And what pollutant is that with?
Xylene and toluene, two solvents that are getting more and more prevalent in our food and beverages, processed food.
You say in every disease is caused by a parasite in conjunction with a pollutant.
Yes.
I would like for you to tell me what you would name, keeping that rule in mind, parasite, what you would call our #1 killer. What would you call heart disease?
There are a number of different heart diseases, but altogether, the heart is having a hard time, and I would always go and investigate which parasite it is and which major toxin. I already know that it's going to be diarrhea because I've searched for it in so many different kinds of heart disease, whether it's valve disorder or arrhythmia or the other things.
Diarrhea.
Yes.
That's the parasite. In other words,
it's a little roundworm. It affects our dogs. And the cooperating toxin is cobalt.
Cobalt.
Yes.
And where would we get the parasite in the case of heart disease?
The parasite, living parasite, is in dogs, but the eggs would be in dirt.
In dirt.
Such as we get on our produce.
Okay, if I live with a dog, according to your theory, would my chances of having heart disease be better because this parasite is common to dogs?
I would think so, but that would be theories. I advocate sterilizing the food. It isn't just parasite eggs that we would get off. There is a tremendous payback that comes from washing your produce a certain way. 1 minute in hot water, and then a second minute in hot water. After each one, you dry it and start over. That removes the wax, the pesticide, the azodyes, the heavy metals, and the parasite eggs, most of them, all together. So that's what I advocate as an improved hygiene for cooking.
All right, now, it comes along with this bad guy, this pollutant, cobalt. How do we ingest cobalt? Where do we get cobalt from that you detect inside our bodies?
It comes from two places, outside sources and internal sources. The internal ones are much more fascinating, maybe, and I'll go into that. But the outside sources are off our dishes, because we wash our dishes with soap that has a blue color or has cobalt added. And there's cobalt in, say, window washer, but of course you wouldn't be eating that, so that's not so important. But now the inside sources are very amazing. We are full of fungus growth, something that we wouldn't have known unless we had a synchrometer to detect it with. We have two very common kinds of fungus. One is plain yeast, the same as bread yeast, not candida, but bread yeast. And the other one is a kind of mold that grows on sugar that we call sorghum mold. Those two grow in us at all kinds of locations. You'll find them in your arteries, veins, any place you have a little problem, they seem to be growing there. They are growing there. And when you kill them, which a healthy young body does all the time, your body's immune system or something is killing them. And after you have killed them, they release their...
So when you do kill the mold,
Yes.
which is good.
Yes.
You then create a byproduct of cobalt?
Yes. You have to remove the cobalt, and you can do chelation, EDTA chelation, which is an alternative therapy. That will remove cobalt. A popular new supplement on the market called IP6, inositol phosphate, inositol hexaphosphate, that will remove cobalt. And altogether, that does a good job. While it is free, it competes with your vitamin B12. And so the heart is deprived of vitamin B12, and at the same time, it has the toxic effect of cobalt, which shuts down your metabolism. Cobalt poisons. A little compound that's a hub of your metabolism. It's like knocking out your gear shift in the car. Then you can't do anything.
What if you already have heart disease?
Yes.
What do you recommend that person do for maintenance?
Take vitamin B12, eliminate cobalt, and kill fungus and kill parasites altogether at the same time. But since you'll be killing parasites in your tissue where it cannot leave, which is different from in your intestines or pancreas where it can leave through the intestines. When you kill parasites in the heart tissue and other tissues where they can't leave, you have to mop up the mess at the same time, dead parasites. Because if you don't, it will grow fungus, and that's what happens in heart disease. You grow fungus. And your body, though, will be killing that fungus, and we would take a stronger approach and kill it also, which releases cobalt. Then you have to remove the cobalt at the same time and give a great big shot of B12.